Hi everyone, welcome back to another knitting podcast episode. I'm so excited you're here today and I can't wait to get into what I've recently finished and I'm currently working on, and then a couple yarn knitting related things that I've purchased within the last month. So let's get into it. First thing, I am wearing this cardigan. This is my Taylor Swift cardigan, so I did not make it. I wore this to her concert back in July, and little fun thing that happened, we walked from our hotel to the concert, and on our walk a bird pooped on me. So it has a stain, which is less than ideal because I don't think I can get another one of these unless I want to pay like, I don't even know. I've seen them like $400 of people reselling on Poshmark, which that's just too much for me. So yeah, I wear this all the time, but I did see that Sorella on Instagram, who does hand-dyed yarn, she did a Taylor Swift like collection and included a cardigan pattern to make one similar to this. So I feel like one day I'll end up making that. I think it would be fun to change the like accent color. I would want to do green because green's my favorite color, and I would say that it would be like my Evermore folklore forest green cardigan, ivy, all of the green related things that have to do with Taylor Swift. That's what it would go with. But yeah, so let's get into it, because speaking of cables, the first thing that I finished since last time we spoke is the August hat by Sari Nordlund. This was my first ever cabled project and I love how it turned out. The cables look really intense and intimidating, at least I thought so, but they weren't as difficult. This keeps hitting my button. I'm gonna tuck it in. They weren't as difficult as what it looks like. I'm really liking the color. I chose this color. It is Blue Sky Fibers Woolstock in Lilac Bloom. And for my last episode, I mentioned how Anna from APT Atelier made one in a similar color, but she dyed it herself with blackberries, I believe. And so this was the best match I could find. But yeah, really happy with how it turned out. It's super stretchy. I'm not gonna try it on because I wore my hair up today. And I have a big head and it fits my head. So we don't have the same problem as I did with the smiley face mood beanie that fit like a swim cap. This one fits. So now it just needs to cool down enough that I can actually wear it. The next thing that I recently finished, you may have seen if you follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Erica Taylor Creative. I'll link it below. But I did post these the other day. These socks from Ozetta. They are the comfort socks and they're DK weight. I changed a couple things on the pattern. So hers included like, I think an inch or two of 1x1 rib at the top, and I didn't do that. I just went straight into the 3x1 rib, and then also the foot of hers is all stockinette. So I continued the ribbing on the top of the foot and then just did stockinette on the bottom. But those are the only things I changed. Otherwise I use the same like stitch count and same heel method. They fit really nice. They're very soft and warm. Again, I needed to get a little cooler so I can wear these. And I knit these up with some yarn that I purchased on my honeymoon in the Cotswolds from a local sheep farmer. And it's super soft. It reminds me of Let Lopi but softer, because Let Lopi is not very soft, but this is. And I think I'm gonna make a matching pair for my wife because I got enough yarn to make more than one pair. So if she's watching this, then she'll know she's getting some soon. But yeah, really happy with these, and we can get into my last finished project. I'm counting it as finished. It's not finished yet, but I'm counting it as finished because I'm almost there and it's been taking me forever. It is surprise, surprise, the thin sweater by Wool and Beyond. So last time we chatted, I had made it to knit in the round, just barely. I was like probably, here's the armpit, I was probably like right here. So I knit the rest of the body, which was another like 10 inches. Then I knit the neckline, and in the pattern it said do whatever for the neckline and cast off. Well, I was so excited to finish the neckline that I didn't think about my cast off method. I just did regular, like slipping one stitch over, and then when I went to try it on, it was of course too small for my head. So I was like, awesome, I guess I'll redo that later. So I picked up all the stitches and knit the arm, and then after I finished one arm, I went back, ripped out the neck. Then when I cast off, I did the stretchy bind off. I forget the name of it. I'll link the YouTube video below, but it's where you do like a yarn over before you slip one stitch over the other, so then it makes it super stretchy, as you can see. So I did that. Then it was time to do the last arm, which I am almost finished with. I have like 5 inches left and I'm done. That's why we are counting this one as a completed project, because I've been working on this thing forever. So the pattern is, I followed everything to pattern except for the sleeves. This is supposed to be a very fitted sweater in general. So the arms, she has it where it's tight all the way to your wrist. I didn't want it that tight on my wrist because I know I would feel claustrophobic, so I did about half the decreases. So I tried it on a few times, and once I was like around my elbow area, I stopped doing decreases and I'm just knitting straight. So that's the only thing I changed, and then everything else I knit to pattern. I can't wait to block it and wear it. This is probably the longest I've worked on a sweater. The smallest needles I've ever used to knit a sweater for sure. 3mm for the whole thing. It's taking me forever. Speaking of, look at how cute these little needle tip covers are. They look like pumpkins. This was one of the things that I recently purchased that I'm going to show you. But yeah, have them on here. Super happy with how this is turning out. I can't wait to wear it. I knit it up in Drops Flora in the color dark gray. And that is about all I have to say about this. I think I've talked about it in every single episode because it's taking me that long to make it. But that's okay. It's fun. So next time, I should have finished this. It should be completely finished and blocked and ready for me to wear. Maybe I'll even wear it in the next episode next month. We'll see, unless something crazy happens and then I don't finish it. So last time I had mentioned that I wanted to start a new project when I finished the thin sweater, which is taking me forever. And I asked for everyone's opinion if I should make the Vilma top. So I have this swatch for the Vilma top and this swatch for the Yoon sweater. Everyone voted for Vilma top, which I do want to make one day. But I cast on quite a few new things and none of them are the Vilma top. So I'll show you what I started making. The first thing is some socks. The I'm Batty socks by Stone Knits, and it's in her book Charming Colorwork Socks. So I had to start these because my goal is to finish them by October 1st. I want to be able to wear them in October. So I'm like halfway done with the first sock, and then I'm gonna make the second one, and hopefully in the next like 2 weeks I can finish them so I can wear them on October 1st. I'm knitting them up with Hedgehog Fibers twist sock in slate, and then this is Malabrigo sock yarn in the color Lettuce. I feel like they're so cute together. This just feels like the perfect slimy Halloween green, which I'm loving. And then this is one of my very favorite sock yarns, the Hedgehog Fiber Twist sock. They have two. One is just called sock yarn and one's twist sock. I like the twist sock. It has BFL wool in it and it's so good. And they've lasted a long time. Actually, I'm wearing a pair of socks right now. I'll take it off. Made with the same type of yarn in a different color. This one's crazy. It's just a vanilla sock knit up in a crazy yarn. That is one thing I will say. Hedgehog Fibers has a lot of very bright colors. So although they're one of my favorite sock yarns, I can't always find colors that I love. But this is another one. I've worn these a ton. I made them earlier this year or late last year. I've worn them a lot. I've washed them and blocked, like put them on sock blockers, and they still look great. They have a little bit of pilling, but I have worn them in shoes too, not just around the house. But yeah, this is my favorite sock yarn. So I was happy to see that they had a nice gray color without a bunch of craziness going on. And then the Lettuce color I chose because I am going to make the pumpkin socks by Stone Knits, which I'll link below. And in that pattern, she mentioned that she used Malabrigo lettuce for like the stems, and I really liked the way it looked. So I just went with the same exact color. And then I'll use the leftovers from this for the stems, for the pumpkins, and it should be enough yarn. So that is the first thing that I started working on, which was not anything that I asked for anyone's opinion. The next project that I started working on also came up that I was not expecting. So I have applied for quite a few test knits in the past and never have been chosen until this time, and I'm very excited. It's been so fun. I am working on the Kleo sweater by Milena Paulina on Instagram, and I'll link her down below. So it is a basic stockinette sweater, which is perfect for me because I find looking at color work and thinking about knitting it would be really fun, but I know myself that I probably wouldn't wear most of that stuff very often. I'll wear more like simple, classic construction, one color, maybe stripes, you know. So I was really excited to get selected for her test knit, and we were so graciously given a coupon code for yarn if we were deciding to knit it up with the yarn she used for the pattern. So the yarn she used is by Majo, and it is their Tweed Supreme, which is 100% merino tweed yarn, and I got the color Avocado. So I decided to knit mine up in this beautiful olive green. I don't think it's very avocado, it looks very olive to me, but it's so beautiful. Perfect fall color. The tweed flecks in it are like orange, brown, and yellow, and it's just so beautiful. It's so squishy and soft since it's merino wool, and in the past I have felt tweed yarn and it's not for me because it's very scratchy, but this is not scratchy at all. It's so squishy and so soft, so I know it will be completely fine like next to skin and I won't get all itchy. So that is the yarn I decided to use, the color that I decided to use. Here is the sweater so far, and we start by knitting part of the back and then pick up stitches for each shoulder and then connect it in the front, knit down, and then connect it to knit in the round. So I'm knitting in the round now on the body, and I love this yarn. I can't believe how soft it is. I'm really enjoying making this. It's knitting up much quicker than my thin sweater that I showed you before because it's knit on 5mm needles instead of 3, so it's a lot faster. I think I'm gonna take a break from knitting the body and do the neckline because I really want to try it on soon and see how it's coming along, and then go back to doing the body and then do the sleeves, and I should be done. Our deadline is in October to finish the test knit, so I don't know if that's also the day that the pattern's coming out, but once I find out when the pattern is coming out, I will post about it on Instagram, and I'll update it, the link to the pattern, in the description box of this video once it comes out, because we do have until October to finish, but I'm, again, not certain if that's also when it comes out. But it's just so, like, so squishy and so soft. I can't wait to wear it. I want to hurry up and finish it so I can wear it. Okay, the next thing that I am working on is something I cast on for the purpose of having some mindless knitting, and it is the Winter Tails Blanket Shawl by Ozetta. So I cast this on back in August, the end of August, a few days before going camping with my family. So we drove to, I live in Oregon, and we drove to Idaho to meet up with some family to go camping, and I was lucky to be passenger princess for a while, so I got to knit, and I brought my thin sweater and worked on that in the car, and then once we got there I just worked on this. So while we were just hanging out and enjoying the weather and everything, I worked on this. It's perfect, like, mindless knitting because it's just knit and garter, and I didn't need to keep looking at the pattern or anything. It's really squishy since it's knit and garter, and again, this is knit on 5mm needles, so it's knitting up quite quickly. I am knitting it in some unspun yarn that I had from my stash. I originally purchased this unspun yarn to make one of Ozetta's cardigans, but then I saw the Wool & Beyond Lonely Leftovers vest and wanted to make that really badly, and this yarn was perfect for that. So after that I didn't have enough yarn to make a sweater since I used quite a bit for the vest, so I have enough to make the shawl. I think I might need to make my shawl a little smaller than the pattern because of how much yarn I have left, but once I'm like halfway, I'm gonna, or close to halfway, I'm gonna weigh my project and weigh the rest of the yarn I have and just see where we're at. But yeah, loving how this is turning out. You increase like every other row, so you knit a row and then increase and then knit back, and then you knit back and then increase, so every other, and it's gonna make a triangle. So I think I'll go like all the way increase, we'll get to a point, and then decrease the other direction. I love the color of this yarn, but it is too itchy for me to just wear, so I'm kind of happy that I ended up not making that cardigan. After I made the vest, I wear it over other stuff, and so I can't feel how itchy it is, but I did try it on with nothing, and it was so itchy. And so then this is also great for the shawl because I'll be wearing it over clothes. I don't think I could handle it if it was like touching my bare skin. Maybe for a little, but not all day. The last thing that I'm currently working on is another pair of socks. These are the Seasons socks by Summer Lee Designs. I'm knitting them up with Patton's Croy sock yarn in the color Mossy Colors. So it's a really beautiful green with like flecks of brown and gray in it and a little yellow. I love how this is turning out. The texture of these socks is super squishy. It's first ribbing 2x2 at the top, and then we go into the pattern, the stitch pattern, and it looks like waffle knit, and I love waffle knit stuff. So I think this colorway is really beautiful with this stitch. I like how these are turning out so far. I am at the heel turn now, but they're on hold. Oh, with these cute little needle covers, another thing that I purchased, they're little leaves. I'm obsessed. But yeah, working on these, nothing too crazy. Once I finish these, I want to make another pair, but with a solid color yarn and see like what the difference is versus this one with all the different colors mixed in. So yeah, that is everything I have been working on and finished lately. I do have a couple things that I've purchased that are knitting adjacent. So the first one is a drop spindle. So quite a few people I follow on Instagram and on YouTube are all about spinning their yarn with their drop spindle. And I started to get sucked into watching those videos. Then one night I was on TikTok and my For You page really did its job because I was getting so many drop spindle videos. And now I have purchased one thanks to that. So I got this off Etsy. I thought it was so beautiful. Someone on TikTok was using it to spin their yarn and then they linked it and they got me because I bought it from Etsy after seeing theirs. And I have no clue how to use it. I still need to learn and watch like YouTube tutorials to get started, but I did buy some fiber that I plan to use. So I got this from House of a la Mode. It's their merino fiber in the color Ferris wheel. It's really pretty brown with some red in it. I don't love the red parts as much as the brown, but it's mostly brown, so I think it'll be okay. It's so soft since it's merino. I don't know if this is like a good fiber to start with. If this is the first time you're learning to spin yarn, I really don't know anything about it, but it was really pretty and I found it at my local yarn store, so I just decided to get it. So I'm going to try and find YouTube videos that'll teach me how to drop or spin my yarn with a drop spindle. And if I find one and I learn how by next time we have a video, I will link it below then, and then hopefully we can all learn to spin yarn. Just sounds so fun. Another way to just buy beautiful fiber and have beautiful yarn. I'm all here for. So we will see if in the next month I do accomplish learning how to do this. The last thing I purchased was a knitting pattern. It just came out, I think like yesterday or the day before. I bought it either the day it came out or the day after. It is the braided beanie by Wool and Beyond, another Wool and Beyond pattern. I think she might be one of my favorite knitwear designers. Everything she creates is just so different and I love all of them, and her patterns are easy to follow. But I bought that pattern and I'm going to use this navy blue yarn from Quince & Co. to make it. The braided beanie is so cool. I've never seen a beanie with the giant chunky braid, and I don't know how it's knit up because I haven't read the pattern yet, but I was thinking that that braided part would also make a really cute like ear cover headband. So in the fall and winter, like sometimes I don't want to wear a beanie, but my ears still get cold if I go on walks in the morning, and I was thinking if I can figure out how it's constructed and it works, it would be really cute for like a big chunky earmuff headband situation. So we'll see. I'm gonna make the beanie first and then go from there. But this yarn is sport weight yarn in navy blue from Quince & Co. I bought this on accident. I bought this on accident a while ago, so it's been sitting in my stash and I'm happy I have a reason to use it now. So I bought it on accident because I was trying to get sock blockers from Quince & Co. and then I needed like $5 or $6 more, or maybe it was $10. Spend $10 more and you get free shipping. And I was like, I don't want to pay for shipping because shipping was like 15 bucks or something. And one ball of this was $11. So I was like, cool, I'll get a ball of yarn. I ended up getting a few, of course. And after a couple days, I got an email about my shipment saying that the sock blockers were actually out of stock, but they're sending my yarn. So then I just laughed to myself because I accidentally bought more yarn that I wasn't originally planning on getting. But anyway, now I'm grateful I have it because I can make that really pretty beanie, because I don't have much sport weight yarn and that's what it's knit up with. And this is sport weight, so happy to have it now. But I was not planning on buying this originally. That is everything I have for you today. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're working on some fun projects. Let me know some other knitwear designers you love, because lately I've been really into Wool and Beyond, but I do love always finding new designers. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.